This time I'd like to call the order of the City of Muskego Landfill Standing Committee at 5:02 p.m. Would the secretary please read the roll?
Sure. Annalise Smith,
Here.
welcome back again.
Thank you.
Patrick Murray,
Here.
Mark Slocum,
Here.
Michael Colling,
Here.
Harvey Schweitzer,
Here.
Scott Krieger, here. Don Matika Sr.,
Here.
Alderman Eileen Madden.
Here.
Greg Beermeister is absent. Roland Kiefer,
Here.
Mike Hackney,
Here.
Brett Coogan,
Here.
Joe Spear Jr.,
Here.
guest people,
Jay
Warzinski, Advanced
Jay
Disposal.
Warzinski, gotcha.
Frank Perugini, Environmental Sampling Corporation.
Okay. One other note, your paychecks will come July and October on one check. Due to our move to the new city hall, you do not get paid. I apologize for that mix-up, if anyone's asking.
Cancel.
Yeah, every notice.
I only wondered about it today when I was looking at the vehicles.
Correct. I have my note.
Roland is
Uh,
probably
Statement of
trying to
public
keep
notice.
you from getting
The
paid
meeting was
when you
posted in
stop
accordance with
everybody.
Wisconsin open meeting laws.
Okay. Approval of the minutes of the July 9th, 2018 meeting. How do you wish to move?
So moved.
Second.
Corrections, addition, discussion? Upon hearing none, all those in favor of the minutes as submitted signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The minutes are accepted unanimously. Open forum? I see no citizens here. Compliance officer report?
We've continued doing weekly audits. There's been the occasional odor. They're going to place 2 wells.
Horizontals.
Say it again?
Horizontal.
Yeah, 2 horizontal wells to address the gas odor that comes off of Phase 7 North near the access road. There was a seep. There haven't been any action items. There haven't been any litter complaints. The site's been operating quite well. Good daily cover, a lot of soil to be placed.
Odor, from your standpoint, what are you seeing?
The complaints I've received, I believe most of them occurring when they pull back in the morning, between 6 and 8.
I smell it.
And then
I get the paper in the morning.
After the heavy rains, the seep that they had to drain the seep and so on, so they were open for a couple days. So I expect odors from that. Outside of that, I haven't experienced odors off-site of a gas nature, other than during the time they were repairing the seep.
Okay.
And the drainage basins need to be cleaned.
In terms of, that's just a normal maintenance thing, or is this an issue?
No, it's a
that-
normal maintenance thing. It's not an issue yet.
Okay.
And it's not all,
No, that's true. It's not all of them.
it's one, right?
2. The one with the island and the trees. And to be completely honest, the site does not have a maintenance agreement with the city, so there's nothing to enforce for cleaning. And the DNR signed off on them doing their maintenance at their own pace. So technically, there's nothing in violation. It's just a simple statement that the drainage basins need cleaning.
And we have scheduled them to be cleaned this winter, once it freezes up.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, before we get into status of projects, I do need to apologize to the committee for not being here or notifying you that I wasn't going to be here for the last meeting. I was up north at our place up there, and I got a surprise visit by my son and his family from Arizona. They drove in to spend a week up there, and needless to say, I totally forgot about this meeting. So,
You're forgiven.
It's for you, Mark.
yeah, right. One more time and we cut the cord. Is that it? it?
We
Pick it up and hang up.
Status of projects. Clay extraction,
None.
household, pardon me?
Status quo,
No backhauls, no anything?
nothing.
And nothing anticipated?
You never know with projects, but no, we're not anticipating anything.
Okay. Household hazardous waste?
I can pass these around. This is the updated data through the end of August.
I see what you're doing now.
Basically, we are a little bit down on participants and pounds, but the participants and pounds that are coming are a little bit more expensive than they had been the previous year. It looks like we will be making budget for the year, although it's really going to determine what September, thank you so much, how September costs come in. We do know that some of the September costs were a little bit higher. We again had high participation in September, so we're just going to have to make sure that everything is on track. Anyone else? For the rest of the year.
Scott, doesn't he normally get a set?
No.
I can
Yes,
do
I will.
it.
If you
Sorry.
have an extra set, I'll take it.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
I'm just a little slow. My printer did not agree
All right, you guys take
to
it.
double side these. So it's nice when the recycling office can come with
Yeah.
lots of paper. Also, I am noticing that the detail on 2018 on the back side did get a little cut off, but like I said, you'll see. Participants are down 291. I expect, after hearing a verbal summary, that participation will be level for the year after September. And total pounds is down a little bit as of the end of August. However, the costs are still up. So, with $116,000 remaining in the budget.
Okay, costs are up. Attributable to what?
Primarily, we are seeing higher corrosives and more recycling, items that need to be recycled. Just the makeup of what materials people are bringing.
Give me an example of corrosive. Or if you can't, Joe might be able to.
Well, they lump it all into the same thing, so anything reactive, acids, bases, you get people bringing in fertilizer, but it's actually muriatic acid, they would put that in corrosives. Materials used for industrial cleaning.
Yeah, but that kind of stuff isn't supposed to be coming in from a
Well,
household.
But, I mean, that kind of stuff is accessible by households. The household definition is just anything under 3 gallons.
Pavement clean, if somebody's using something to clean their concrete.
So it's not
driveway.
that the costs are up, it's that it's more corrosives, and corrosives is one of the more expensive. The actual cost is changed, but the contract numbers haven't. Is that right?
Yes, yep.
Any further comments, questions on
It's not car batteries, is it? Okay.
car batteries? Not supposed to.
No, that's why I thought I'd ask, because we just had the satellites, right?
Correct.
And I know there's been a problem in the past with car batteries just appearing. And then we'd pay for the corrosive, and then we'd pay for the disposal of the core.
I have
So I
not,
thought I'd double check.
I have not heard that that was an issue at the most recent. So, and when you look at the graph, looking at the year, most of our satellites are we've got 2 satellites in June, which is that big spike.
Yeah.
And then our last satellite is in September, which is why I'm just kind of reserving optimism for the end of the year through seeing actual September numbers.
Okay. MSD project?
Going pretty steady now. We haven't really had any changes since we did those electrical upgrades since that last meeting. No, we're just delivering everything that they can handle and flaring the rest. Really, it's been going on for 2+ months now.
Steady.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, we've had pretty good operation ever since we did those chiller upgrades a year ago, last November, I think now. We've been pretty steady with delivery outside of some, minor hiccup things that moisture or whatever, some small things, but compared to previous years, our run time is significantly improved.
Are they able to take everything that you have coming off the landfill? or-
Currently, no. They apparently still, we don't know the exact reason, but they apparently still have one of their landfill gas turbines is inoperable. I don't know why. So they only have one that's in operation, so they're taking about 2/3 of our landfill gas. They take about anywhere from 1,000 to 1,200 CFM, and we flare the remainder, which is anywhere from 600 to 800 typically. That's been going on for probably 2-3 months now. Yeah.
But their plan is to get the other turbine up and operating, or do you
I would
know?
imagine so. They don't communicate that well with us in terms of what their turbine operation is. If they're going to be down, they'll let us know, but they don't know fully reasoning behind it. I imagine they're trying to get it on. They're essentially just wasting money with us flaring because they're paying for us to flare too.
So what happens if one of their turbines, another turbine goes down?
We would be flaring.
Well,
everything.
but you're flaring anyway.
We'd be flaring more. Yeah.
We'd be flaring it all, mostly.
Yeah, we'd be flaring everything until they can start taking again. According to the contract, they have a certain amount of down days in the year that they're allowed where they don't pay for anything.
Okay.
Everything outside of that.
But you got the capability of flaring it
Yes,
all.
yeah, it's just as if this plan never existed, we could flare everything we have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Electronic recycling?
Going well, unless you're hearing differently.
Not hearing anything.
They're here weekly picking it all up, so it's working out well. As long as they come every week, we're good.
Residential drop-off site?
Other than people are having issues with 1.5 yards from time to time that they're allowed to bring in, that's been about it.
How often is that occurring?
We get 2 or 3 complaints or, because then we gotta charge them,
Right.
so. 2 or 3 times a month.
Yeah.
Really?
And we still have the container out there, the 2 yard, to say if you can get all your stuff from your trailer into that, then you're fine. And 90% of the time, it's bulky items, so it's not gonna happen.
So it's not brush, it's
No, the
furniture.
brush, we still.
Brush is separate.
That's done, yeah, bring it in as you like.
Yeah.
So what is the other, is it tree stumps or?
No, it's, the guy that comes in with a whole trailer full of garbage and thinks that he can get rid of it.
Oh,
But he still gets rid of it. He puts it on the MRO.
Half, and then he brings the rest.
That's right.
Yeah.
So you got a 2-yard container so you can fill that up and then take the rest back home, right?
Right.
And then come back next.
Right. It's only there for
Visually.
an example to say, here's what 2 yards looks like, or a yard and a half.
It's sort of like the bag sale, right? Everything you can get in the bag.
Right, everything you get in the bag, 11% off.
Gotcha. Well testing, well water protection area?
The cards, the homeowners should be going out in the next 30 to 45 days. Monitoring is scheduled for the early part of December. And should go off the way it's done in the past.
How many cards is sent now?
I think we're up to about 145. I'm going to go through the list with Julianne.
Okay.
That's it?
That's it.
Plan modification issues?
None since July, the last meeting.
But Jay's here, so do you have something now?
Unless
I'm
Jay
here
knows something I don't know.
I'm here observing, so.
Okay. Property protection, sociological?
Like I said, every time with sociological payments, I believe everybody gets them, because if they didn't, we would hear about it. Property protection, there was one home that we were in discussions with on 8 Mile. Sounds like they've got a buyer. Who knows? The paperwork is signed.
Okay.
And you're taking care of all the yards? There was no complaints of weeds or high
I got a
grass?
letter for weeds on the ones that were on Loomis Road, and we took care of them.
Okay.
Okay. New business? I see nothing there. Continuing business?
I have a question on the electronic recycling. Is that contract going to be up again? Because that was kind of a
That's
hassle.
city. The city did the last time, didn't they?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know,
So-
Scott, when it's up?
I do not, I can check on that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's trying to fall in your lap as a guess.
Right.
Yeah. That's why I'll check on that.
Yeah.
The county does have a contract for our stuff. I'm not quite sure how everything interweaves yet, but we are looking at that as well. And I think currently, there have been a lot of, the county's program's been going really well. People have been very happy, so it's with the current situation.
Review payments made from committee funds? Questions, comments on payments? Establish meeting and annual tour dates for 2019.
Good calendar.
Okay.
Are we gonna have quarterly meetings then?
That's what we were, the plan, right? We're still gonna do quarterlies. I didn't know of any.
It's up to the committee, it's open for discussion, obviously.
You mean meet on the calendar quarter,
Right.
Right.
March, June, September? Do we always have, we have one in December?
Would be
Trying to
December.
remember when we started it.
Last year, I think you did, right?
Yeah.
You had one January 8th of 18, was your first one.
Right, so we'd be in
We
January.
did April, then July,
Yeah.
and October.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then you start it again.
Not on a calendar quarter, that's what I'm asking.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're April, right? Is that what we're looking for, the first Monday in April? It's April. Well, stay.
How appropriate.
What do you got for January?
January, I have 7th,
January 7th,
January 7th,
April 1st.
April 1st,
July 1st?
July 1st.
No, that's probably not good, is it? How does that fall
Oh,
on the
it's-
4th?
The 4th is on a Thursday.
So the 1st is on a Monday.
Yeah, so it shouldn't really,
Most people
Okay.
take off the full week.
yeah.
Usually.
Do they? You want to do it the
Make for a
8th?
short meeting.
Well, then what about people who take the next week off? the
That's
4th of
true.
July?
Because it's toward the end of the
They
week.
take it.
Forget July, skip July.
Why don't you just do it July 1st?
I believe it July 1st.
I'm not going anywhere that I know of.
Is that gonna be the
I
tour day?
haven't been told.
That would be,
Oh, well, that would be the tour day.
We could have fireworks.
Okay, July 1st, that will
Straight
include the
torches,
tour.
right?
That's tour?
Yeah.
July 1st, including the tour?
That's a 4 o'clock start then, same as?
Yes.
Mhm.
And October 7th.
What was the April one?
First.
we have 2/7 and
And that
2
doesn't
1st.
conflict with your opening day?
April 1st, I don't know yet. I don't know when opening, I haven't got my schedule yet for next year. Jay, do you know when opening day is next year? Here's the other paper.
That won't come out until.
Yeah, you gotta finish this season first.
Right.
Yeah.
They're way too busy pouring champagne at the moment.
Yeah, they are.
March 28th, 2019,
Yeah, Cardinals?
at Miller Park.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Good. Okay.
I thought you were a fan.
I am, but hey, I'm really king. I already just got him into the NL division. Now, give me a break. Right?
Just wanna say.
Working on a series, right?
Yeah, right. I got to get through the Cubs 5 games.
Okay, communications and any other business is authorized by law?
Mark,
Yes.
I'd like to ask for the week of Christmas off again. No audits.
Yeah.
Had the wrong motion. But I don't bill you for it either.
Christmas.
Well, we could do that.
Joel-
Yes, please.
Okay,
Joel's
I
having
move
Christmas
to,
with Joel.
Allow.
Grant
Grant, yep.
the vacation
Second.
for, what, between Christmas and New Year's?
Yeah.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Granted. And that assumes that everything is going as it is now.
Correct.
Any other comments, questions, communications?
Nice to see Jay here.
Yeah, shortest meeting we ever had.
Yeah, ought to come more often.
He must have
Burn it
known
through.
that that's
Get
what
your
he
money
came
to
to.
it.
Yeah,
Well, when you have short meetings, you know everything's going all right.
that's true.
Either that or they're hiding it well.
Mike, any update on the lawsuit?
No. No, I should say that, I believe it's going to arbitration this week or next.
Lawsuit, which lawsuit?
Against, state, right?
State
disposal.
slash United.
Yeah. You weren't here last meeting, huh?
No, and is that the
No.
thing where they were bringing too much in?
They were, yeah, they.
Covering it up?
Covered
and-
loads
Okay.
in.
Yeah.
I don't, I read that, but I still didn't quite understand what it was. so-
Explain that again, I would
Oh.
like. So what they were doing was,
We had a 5-ton minimum on shingle loads, so anything over 5 ton, they didn't pay on it. What we found out was after they were coming in for a period of time, we started looking at the loads a little closer. Because we noticed that all of a sudden they were bringing in more shingle loads than C&D, which is just your typical roll-off type garbage. After looking at the loads, documenting the loads, they weren't shingle loads. They were what we considered, because in the contract, it says it had to be shingles only. So if there's any other debris in there, we looked at it as a C&D load. So they were they weren't being charged as much as what they should.
CNDB construction and demolition.
Yep.
Okay.
What was the makeup that you were observing?
Besides what was in the load, or
Yeah, what was typically in the load? Was
if
it,
it wasn't strictly shingles, we give them a little leeway there with a little bit of boards or something like that. But the majority of this stuff had a lot of wood, a lot of plastic, a lot of garbage mixed in with it.
okay, so the majority of it was C and D, or the minority was shingles?
Correct.
Gotcha.
And the shingles, do they get recycled?
No, they were getting disposed of.
Okay.
More and more of the roofers are recycling it. Get something for it.
Seems like they are.
Well,
Why would they've gotten a deal on anything over 5 tons?
That was
On contract.
15 years ago, they did the contract with them. And it just kept rolling over.
And they abused it.
Because we don't have any of that. Everything now is by a ton, strictly by a ton.
Yeah.
There is no minimums, there's nothing. It's, everything's by a ton.
okay.
So the last couple months, we've had an extraordinarily large amount of garbage dumped on 8 Mile Road, and you guys have been good about picking it up, or somebody has. It's been getting picked up. And it's been things like, did you guys get that? It was like a big couch out there, and then a couple houses down, there'd be a bunch of bags, and another couple houses down, there'd be all that wood piled in front of that property you own on 8 Mile. Do you guys, is there any way, do you look, can you find anything that shows where it's coming from, or
I
you
mean,
just,
if it's garbage bags, sometimes
Do you go
people
through 'em?
aren't that bright and they'll have their bills in there.
yeah,
They'll still deny it.
really?
Yeah.
Somebody must have grabbed it from their house and thrown it on the road.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Or it fell off the garbage.
So it must just be
It's
the
hard,
time
because
of
you know, a
year.
lot of that
Right.
stuff is just, it's wood, like you said, wood,
Yeah.
a TV, a refrigerator, tires, things like that. It's-
Yeah, that one time they put
If it was
tires out
garbage
there.
bags, it'd be easy.
It's almost like they dropped a tire, drove a car length, dropped a tire, drove a car length. They did it all the way down 8 Mile Road. It's like,
Kind of like they
holy
just came off the
cow.
car, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, a car with about
Then did you
12
find a car with
tires.
just, find a car just at the hub, just the hubs?
It's like, jeez. And I had asked our police to
And it's always on
police it
date.
more on, and it's always on a Saturday. And it's usually a Saturday between 11 and 2.
Well, that
I
should be,
noticed on Wednesday one day.
Oh, you're right, there was a
It was
Wednesday.
Wednesday day there.
Hey, you never gonna stop.
it's gotta be the same guy.
They're probably going to.
You see, every Saturday you get hit all
Somebody
this
was
crap.
just confused about the
Yeah.
gallon.
That's crazy. So you can't, so even when you find
But
it, it
they
doesn't
only
help.
take a
I
certain
mean, you know as
volume
well as,
too.
my guess is the majority of that stuff is probably, I'm not pointing fingers, but Norway. I mean, I don't know too many Muskego people that use 8, they're all coming from the north. So, I know, I'm not pointing fingers. Yeah, I'm just saying.
I was waiting for that.
You just don't see that many Muskego.
Oh, tons of them. Tons of them. Ask the cops. They even sit there for speeders. So don't tell
But
me.
we try to get most of it, we don't get it all, we're not gonna take 100% of the credit for picking it up.
Police numbers.
We get the majority of it when we see it.
It happens across the street too.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, 112th Street, and that used to be one big dump area there where that one old driveway was going in the back there.
Still
Like,
is.
you know, there was always couches, chairs, tires. It was a weekly thing or a bi-weekly thing. You had to go by there and pick it up, send a truck. So it's any street that's not a road that's not going to get traveled.
Yeah, but they
real
do it right on Highway 45 at the hazardous waste place. You go look at there on Sunday morning or whatever after the Saturday. There's always paint cans and all kinds of crap there too.
Missed the cutoff.
Oh,
Well, at least they put it by the gate.
they do. They put it right next to the fence. At least they're very nice.
That's better than in the ditch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and so be it. I hate to say this, but like 112th Street or 8 Mile Road is better than if it's Highway K or Oakwood or someplace away from the landfill. Because who's gonna pick it up then? Then you gotta call the city. At least here,
Landfill would probably appreciate that.
but at least here we got the landfill.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's been, I hope it's just the time of year and it's not gonna go on much longer. 'Cause that's,
Fall cleanup.
oh my God.
Citizen commentary? Don't see anything. Jay, this is your time to speak up.
I'm silent.
You're silent? Okay. With that, I'd be looking for a motion to adjourn.
Adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned at 5:33.
So was one engineer to another, Jason?
Oh, yeah, right.